house. Thank you for joining us, Joe.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining.
It's got to be like 4 a.m. I think. Oh, God. Fuck out of here.
Today's our second class, Steve.
Oh, who said that?
Whoa, Steven.
There's going to be a fist fight between Nez and Steve. Let's get some microphones plugged in.
Yeah.
We are wildly unprepared today, Chop Block TV. I apologize.
Can we share
Share what?
this one here?
Okay.
No.
Well, let's actually have this one.
Hi, Alan.
Here's a nice crotch shot for you.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Here we go. We need this one, and this goes in here. And just like that. We'll probably no longer be appearing on Chop Block TV after this fiasco.
Oh, Alan is at work. I'm sorry.
As usual. Sorry, Alan.
Sometimes we have to work.
It's true. And there's going to be some ass clowns at your job.
Where's Buddy?
Yeah. You mean
I don't need it.
We're going to get Buddy something next week, hopefully.
Tim Lincecum. You are correct, Steve Z. That's his name, Tim Lincecum.
Yes, that's the kid.
That's right. You're right. Steve Z nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody want to hand me a microphone so we can do the podcast? You want me to take this one and you take that one? Or? I don't know.
Did you want to hold it like we did last week? Yeah.
Right about here.
So, how's it going?
What should we do here? Do you want
Why don't you scoot up a little bit? Here, we can adjust these cameras.
Okay, we got it.
And then you want me to use this one? Is this what we're doing?
There we go.
Okay, I'll take it. Hello. Hello.
Who's this one?
That one is yeah. He does this weird shit where he like points it like point blank at his face.
What is that going on?
It looks like
buddy?
he's going to be assassinated by the microphone. I don't know what his plan is. This nonsense. This
Okay,
we're not. Has anybody seen Demon Wind besides Alan or Shelley?
or Demon Lover.
Want to see my-
Demon Lover, much better
You
movie.
want to smell my?
This movie eats balls. Come on, Alan.
I am going to agree with you, Alan. I'm going to tell. Spoiler alert: Darian did not care for this film.
Nor I.
Hey, Ray Ray's in the house. What's up, Ray Ray? No, you haven't seen Demon Wind. Do yourself a favor and find something else to watch.
Yeah. don't watch.
Ray, how's Michigan?
Oh, that's fucking. All right. Look at this. It just goes limp right in front of me.
That's what I deal with.
You have to fluff it up a little bit. Hey, Gingy's in the house. Hey, Gingy.
Hi.
Ginger, I'm glad that you. Is she on Chop Block or YouTube?
This is
Okay, perfect. Ginger, I'm glad your Facebook group did not get shut down, and I'm glad Ray Ray's still in the house.
Demon thing.
I agree. Who said that?
Matt.
Matt, I agree
Matt.
100%. 900 times better than Demon Wind,
Mhm.
which sounds like it's, to quote Joe Bob, a documentary about farts made by a 4th grade class. Demons is good too. It's batshit crazy,
Oh,
but
my
we still love it.
parole officer is here.
Oh no,
Oh
Hi,
boy.
parole.
Mr. Monica's in the house.
Hey, what's up, Jesse?
Jesse. Hey, Ginger. All right, you guys ready to get this
Yep,
podcast
let's do
thing
it.
doing?
Let's do it.
Oh, I need my. I had to start a new notebook. I had to retire the old one because I ran out of paper. Here we go with Demon Wind.
Mhm.
Whenever you're ready, buddy. Mic's on, yeah?
Mhm.
Good reach. No, wait. Just hit the pause button. That a boy. Hit it. That's right, inmates. We're talking about Demon Wind from 1990. This movie is a piece of shit, in case anybody's wondering.
It's okay.
It's not good.
Oh,
It's
you
not.
changed it from pretty good movie to okay?
No, it's okay. He's like backing on the movie. It's okay, guys. It was 1990.
Okay, I think an argument could be made that this movie is so bad it's good.
No.
I will put that out
I
there.
don't know.
I don't know that that's actually accurate.
It's not.
It is really bad, and we're going to get into that here in 2 seconds. I mean, 99% of this movie is flashbacks that don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're in,
Cheese and CGI.
there was CGI in this?
Maybe.
There was no CGI in
No,
this.
it was all
is practical effects. I mean, I guess that's one plus, right?
Oh, I'll save
The
it.
parole officer came in at a very interesting point in the podcast. I would just like to point that out. He always does. So he's got like a radar for when Monica starts talking about her boobs, and then he's like, "What? I gotta log on right now. She's about to do something stupid. You better keep your shirt down, you crazy bitch." This one stars Eric Larson, Francine Lepense, and Rufus Norris. Also, the porn star Tiffany Million makes a brief appearance. She is an actual porn star. You can watch her suck a dick on X videos anytime you like. Pretty hot stuff. Little fun fact about Tiffany Norris: she actually got her film start in Glow, the Glamorous Ladies of Wrestling.
Oh, really?
And then when that folded, she went to Blow.
Oh, Blow.
Which is the porno version of the Glamorous Ladies of
Which
Wrestling.
one was she?
I have no fucking idea.
No, I mean in Demon Wind.
Oh, she was the hot demon that showed one that showed her boobs.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
She's in it for like 14 seconds, just long enough for you to beat off to.
Okay.
Hey, Jim's in the house.
Not bad.
This movie is a 1 star, and that's a falling star at that.
Show us the tatas.
Uh,
Who's tatas?
these ones in the push-up bra, I think you've already seen them, Jesse. So we'll just leave it at
I've
that.
been complaining about this bra.
We've gotten a nonstop shit show about how much she hates this bra. Apparently, she has a thing about like pretending that she has big boobs. She doesn't care for it. I think she looks good. I just focus on the thing going on here. Anyway, I assume everybody that's watching or listening to this right now has seen Evil Dead. If you have, just go ahead and watch it again and forget about Demon Wind.
Yeah,
because it's bad, man. And this is a very low. What you're gonna defend this movie? Is that what you're gonna do?
Everybody gets a chance, you know.
Well, of course. I mean, we made a short film, the three of us. It's bad. I'll tell you right now. It's terrible.
it's so bad, it's good.
It's ours? No, it's just bad. That's all that is.
Because
It's-
I haven't seen them.
the boobs or the demon. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Ness. Anyway, so we're gonna start. Okay, it's a standard cabin in the woods situation. Okay, wait. What are you doing? You're gonna do.
I'm
You're gonna
just-
do this?
I'm just showing my
Oh,
cards.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
See?
That's happening. That is now happening.
We're live, folks.
And there you have it. What were we talking about? All right. Anyway, we just got 50,000
Sorry,
likes.
the mic was in the way.
If you want me to show mine, I will.
No, please don't.
Show your.
You know how long it took you to get that suit on?
Yes. This is a process. All right. Enough about the boobs. God damn it.
Let's
Trying to
get
talk
on with
about a
it.
movie. So basically, we start off with a fucking. Well, actually, we start off with a flashback because 99% of this movie is a flashback of a guy and his wife in a dilapidated cabin, and they're having like a fucking kerfuffle about the Bible, more or less. And we get a very long-winded pan around the fucking cabin where all we see is pictures of Jesus and candles and like religious paraphernalia, but then in the middle of the whole shit, it's like a weird pentagram drawn on the floor and candles burning quietly about it, as if to say, Jesus over here, the devil over there. Everything is. You just gave Nez an orgasm, and everything is just fucking culminating into this shit. What a week to tune in live
Right?
every week here on Chop Block TV.
And now you can pause it.
These Hooters. They will be available for pre-sale
That's right.
anytime you want. Anyway, all right. So basically, we got a wife, and she looks like she's been roughed up, and then here comes the husband, and he's clearly possessed. You can tell he's possessed because he's got like fangs all of a sudden, and he's coughing up yogurt all over the place.
I
Hey,
know,
Tom
right?
Hardy.
Tom Hardy's in a hey yo.
I'm Tom Hardy.
Anyway, the guy's coughing up yogurt, so he's clearly possessed, and he's like, ugh, yuck. Make a long story short, the possessed husband kills the wife, and then from there we immediately cut to a dead guy on fire being crucified outside this cabin / farmhouse, I guess,
Mhm.
in the woods. So, okay, well, whatever. Now we're going to cut to present day, i.e., 1990, where we have a couple driving to said cabin in the woods. Now, you're probably thinking, number one, cabin in the woods, perfect. Where's the fucking woods?
No one.
There is no woods.
No one.
This
None.
appears to be like on the Irish countryside,
Yes.
Yeah.
except more like closer to Northern California somehow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, whatever. I mean, we don't necessarily need woods, but it's very strange. So they pull up. They're having like a little, not necessarily a shouting match, but you can tell that they're not speaking. She's like, "Why are you taking me out here? What's going on?" And he's like, "I have to get to the bottom of what happened to my dad and my grandparents." So what we're going to find out, and I'm cutting through a lot of this horse shit because this is a close to a 2-hour movie, and there is a lot of nonsensical crap going on here. So what we're going to find out via flashback is that the guy who's driving the car, his name is Corey, his father, who was estranged from him, recently called him to tell him to, hang out with, everything's cool. Then he committed suicide. So Corey wants to get to the bottom of that. But in researching that, he found out that his grandparents lived at this farmhouse in the woods, this cabin in the woods, and they both died under mysterious circumstances, circa 1930-ish.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fine. I'm with you so far. So,
But yes, Lord.
yeah, probably.
What?
I'm just gonna sit over here a little bit. You're fine. Don't worry about it. I just really need some relief right now, Darren. It's just kid stuff,
It's just a blue pill.
Yeah, I'm kind of lonely being single, actually. Anyway, so this is strange. So apparently, all right, we have some significant writing flaws in this movie, and this is number one. Apparently, this guy just threw his girlfriend into the car and took off. Because now, through all this exculpatory dialogue, she's like, "What are we doing? Where are we going?" And then we get this big explanation. So, were we going shopping and then he just hung a left off the freeway and now we're out in the middle of nowhere? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right.
I've done that before.
Oh yeah.
I don't mean to ask questions, but I mean, it's worth stating. Okay, so that's weird to begin with. So now they pull up to a gas station / diner, which, as Joe Bob put it, looks like it was stapled on.
Yeah. Really
Looks like it was really just a food truck that happened to stop in the middle of this weird Irish countryside type of a situation. And they go in and they're hanging out, and he's like, "Hey, where's the goddamn Carter place?" Yeah, fine. Yeah, fine. Go ahead. Keep drinking, you bastards. Apparently, I wasn't invited to that one. That's fine. Shelley says, "I like it better over here." Great beer choice, buddy. I have a Modelo as well. Toast, my bro. Okay, fine.
Fine.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't care. Being your stupid toast anyway. Bunch of weirdos. Anyway, they pull up and now they're hanging out at this weird gas station / diner that's in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
Really, it looks like a food truck.
Yeah.
So here comes our crazy Ralph character.
Not that we have anything against food trucks.
Oh, I love food trucks.
Oh, yeah.
That's like 90% of my nutrition right
Right.
there. But here comes our crazy Ralph character, and he's like, "You're going to the old Carter place. It's got a death curse." It's crazy Ralph. He just showed up, and he's telling them all to stay away.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when the weirdo, friends start showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, apparently, our main character, Corey, just told all of his friends to meet him at this gas station in the middle of nowhere, sight unseen. Didn't tell them why, didn't tell them where they were going. Just, hey, meet me at this gas station in the middle of fucking nowhere. And like a bunch of yahoos, they all chose to show up.
Why not?
Yeah.
So here comes his friends. The first ones we get to meet are Dell, not Dale, Dell.
Dale would have been better.
I would have preferred him to be Dale.
Yeah.
Dale would have made this way funnier. What's your favorite bar in the Reno area? Death and Taxes, Jim.
Death and Taxes.
Kind of a goth thing. I think, you probably wouldn't like it, but.
And they got a secret room in the back if you check it out.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
I'll tell you about that later.
All right. It is pretty Scooby-Dooey there, Ginger. But they just show up sight unseen to this weird gas station in the middle of the Irish countryside, and they're like, "Hey, what are we doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I can't really tell you right now." So Dell and his girlfriend show up. Here comes another couple, Jack and Bonnie. Now, a couple things about this group of people. All right. First of all, we're going to a cabin in the woods. The correct equation is 4 people, not 12, 4. And once they get there, that's it. No more.
No
we,
more.
we break all these rules in this movie.
What's wrong with people?
Because there's too many
Too
fucking
many.
people, man. Okay,
Why?
that's rule number 1 that they broke. Rule number 2, all the people have to look different from each other.
Mhm.
All these guys look exactly the same.
same.
You can't tell them apart.
No, they don't.
Oh, yes, they
Except
do.
for the women sweat.
Come on. The Jock was so far out there.
He-
He
He was the
I
only
guess
was the only one.
I keep her around.
I'm going to kick everybody's ass. You can tell because I got blonde feathered hair. You fucking nerd. I didn't know who invited. I didn't know who invited nerds to this party. It's pretty goddamn silly, man.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Here comes Jack and Bonnie. They show up. They serve no purposes at all whatsoever. Shortly after that, here comes. They're all getting ready to go, and they're like, "Hey, let's go to this." And he's like, "Hey, we're not going to tell you I can't tell you where we're going or what's going on, but you just got to come with me." So after that, they get out. They're getting ready to get in the cars. Here comes Crazy Ralph again to tell them to fuck off. And as he's telling them to fuck off, here comes 2 more friends in a convertible with apparently some kind of a loudspeaker on it. And they're like, "Hey, here we come. We are the great traveling magicians of
Oh my.
Here comes these 2 clowns. It's 2 dudes in this car. It's Stacy and Chuck. And not only are these 2 apparently performing stage magicians, but they are also budding martial artists.
Yeah. Look out.
So now there's a whole subplot here involving Belle's girlfriend. I think her name was Marie, and Chuck, the martial artist / magician.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite part of the movie. Chuck does like a karate kick, and he kicks a beer can up in the air, and he keeps it going for like 25 minutes as he just keeps roundhousing the beer can, and it goes flying through the air. And then eventually it lands, and then Belle's like, "I didn't know we were inviting any magicians." You know what he says.
I felt like these were the boys from high school that played hacky sack.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Much, yeah.
Except they could do like a flip kick on you if they wanted. So jerks. Oh, nerds. So Dell's like, "Oh, that's your ex. You didn't tell me your ex-boyfriend was gonna be here." So he kind of starts getting in Chuck's face, and then Stacy, who is a guy, jumps out and he does like a poof in between them, and he's like, "Hey, there's a rabbit right in between you guys. Watch out." So then he's
Was Ralph
He's like,
Macchio.
The crane.
in a sweet denim jacket. I'm telling
Wax
you,
on, wax off.
it's pretty stupid. It's actually pretty stupid, this whole thing. So I'm not gonna say it, Jesse, because that'll probably get us kicked off of YouTube. But thank you. So that's pretty dumb. And then as Chuck's getting back in the car, Devil chases him down. He's like, "Hey, that was pretty funny. If you do it again, I'm gonna punch you right in the face." And then Chuck throws a dove in the air, which flies away and takes a fat shit all over Dell. I got a little chuckle out of that part. I thought it was fun. Okay, so now they're off to the old Carter place. Oh, there is a thing where Dell tries to muscle Crazy Ralph, but Crazy Ralph pulls a gun on him and puts it in his face. And then eventually Crazy Ralph is like, "Okay, you're now the owner of the Carter place, so you guys go right ahead." So they go up to the Carter place, which is really just a bunch of ruins at this point, except there is a crucified skeleton right out in the middle. Now,
Yeah. Randomly placed.
a couple of things here. Are we to assume that skeleton has been there for 60 years and that's the skeleton that we saw in the opening flashback? Or Or I have an alternative theory.
Oh, yeah?
Somebody went to Home Depot during the Halloween season and got a kick-ass Halloween decoration.
It's probably that one.
Let's go. Let's go with that. That makes
Yeah.
way more sense than
It's way more.
Okay.
than somebody leaving a dead body on a cross for 60 fucking years, right? Okay. All right, just saying. So well, here's the really fun part. They all get out and they're all looking at the skeleton. They're like, "Oh, that's a dead guy, huh? Wow, that's kind of weird."
Don't touch it.
Then they take 3 steps forward and they find another skeleton on the ground, and then they all freak out about that skeleton.
Mhm.
Ah! Ah, it's a skeleton on the ground. All right,
I think more paranoid about the one up in the air than on the ground.
raise your hand when this starts making sense, because thus far I'm at a loss, my friends. Okay, that's weird. It's strange. Kind of weird. So they're looking at the ruins of, I guess, the quote unquote Carter place or whatever it was. And the cool thing about this is that it's 2-dimensional, i.e., it's just a wall with a door in it. So they're like, oh, that's kind of weird. But if you look through the door, you can see the interior of a cabin. But if you walk around the dilapidated wall with the door in it, you can see it's just a wall with a door in it. So that's kind of weird. Now, here's the really funny part. Strange, right? You got to poke it with a stick.
That's right.
You're exactly right, Crackhouse Matt.
Yes.
Get a fucking stick and poke it. What are you doing?
But there's no wood, so there was no stick.
Oh, you could come up with something.
I guess you could kick it with your
Kick
butt.
it, you know, throw a rock at it, do something for Christ's sakes. You don't just leave it there. So here's the fun part. Corey is like, hey, I'm going to go around the back and check it out. He goes around the back and realizes that this is like a 2-dimensional thing. He can see his friends through the front door. They can't see him because they're looking at the interior of a cabin. Does he say anything?
No.
Does this strike him as strange at all? No. Just walk back around the front. Oh, yeah, let's go inside and check it out. Oh, God. Problem number 13B I have with this movie.
Oh, yeah?
So he's like, well, I guess I can only go in from this side because from the back side, it's just a wall. So they all, hey-oh. That's what she said. Not that that makes any fucking sense.
You said it.
So they all go piling into the 2-dimensional cabin, and they're like, "Whoa, check this out! It's actually rather immaculately kept." There's throw your bra at it, he says. Just fucking
Throw your bra.
dead guy, throw your bra at it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, with the stick, if you don't got a stick, throw your bra. at it.
Car accident, throw your bra at it.
That's right.
Guy flips you off in traffic, throw that fucking bra. Just throw it. Who gives a shit? So that's kind of weird. But they go inside and everything's immaculate. And they're like, whoa, this, for being in a 60-year-old abandoned cabin, this place is remarkably well kept. They're looking around. I believe that we're supposed to be under the impression that like some poltergeist activity happens. But really what it amounts to is a minor earthquake.
Yeah.
Because really just like all the walls start shaking and the cabinets are like cracking and glasses, things are falling off. And they're like, whoa, what's going on? I don't know. Eventually it stops and they're like, dude, that was really freaky, right? Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So,
That's what they think.
well,
It's an earthquake.
yeah, they're all freaked out about it. But then they're like, you know what, man? I think we should just get out of here because I got a really weird, there's a dead guy outside, possibly another one on the ground. Let's get the fuck out of here. Okay. They all go piling out of the cabin, back to their cars. Naturally, none of their cars start all of a sudden. And I'd like to remind everybody that this is happening at about 1 p.m.
Yeah, not dark outside.
Not dark outside. And we are not in the woods.
Nope.
We are on like an open prairie
Yeah.
situation. Like an Irish meadow. It's actually very scenic. Like an Irish meadow type of a deal.
It's beautiful.
I don't think we could find a less intimidating scenario here. Maybe if we went to like a beach house in Maui or something. That would actually be more exciting. So that's kind of weird. They get out there, naturally none of their cars start. So they're like, oh, what are we going to do now? This is when things get exceptionally stupid. So they're all standing around their cars with their thumbs in their asses trying to figure out what to do. In comes this fog. And they're like, hey, here comes a fog. Fog rolls in, covers them. They can't see anything for a second. Then the fog rolls away, and all of a sudden they're in a valley. And they're like, oh, we're somewhere else. What are we doing? Oh, no, here comes the fog again. Fog comes back. And it rolls in, and they're, oh, it's really cold. I can't see anything. And the fog blows away, and then they're somewhere else. They're like on like a tree line. So where are we now? And then, oh no, here comes the fog again. And the fog comes back. And the fog rolls away, and now they're like in a parking lot or some shit. I think they were back at the gas station, and they're like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Oh no, here it comes again. And there comes the fog again. The fog rolls in like 17 times, and each time it takes them somewhere new. I think if you just hang out, the fog will eventually drop you off like at a shopping mall.
Yeah.
Or perhaps an amusement park, somewhere neat, somewhere that's not a complete drag. But naturally, the fog drops them off right back where they started, back at the cabin.
Imagine that.
And they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? Now, again, mind you, we're probably pushing 2 p.m. But Corey makes the ingenious, oh shit, guys, sun's going down soon. We better go somewhere. Let's go back in the cabin. Maybe we can, hang out and make it safe or something.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. They all go piling back into the cabin. Yeah, makes sense to somebody. Here's what I don't understand.
What don't you understand?
Somebody wrote this, okay? somebody actually I get it. I've written some bad things in my time, but I pass it around. Hey, guys, tell me, does this suck? Is there like a problem? Does it make sense? Or somebody tell me if I'm fucking stupid. And then usually my wife is like, none of this, you got to take this out, and this character doesn't belong here and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, you're right. And then I fix it. And it's still usually pretty bad. But the thing is, I have other people look at it to tell me if I'm high on crack.
I tell him not to use big words.
See that?
If I can't pronounce it, I don't want to say
She
it.
can't say it, so I have to cut that. The part where I said you were ambidextrous, I have to cut that out of there.
I'm like, what does that mean?
I don't even get
I don't
it.
even know.
I don't even know. I'm wearing this weird bra. It doesn't make sense. What the hell?
Pushes them up.
It doesn't even make sense. Just stop it. All right, so now they all go piling into the cabin again. We got the whole crew here, which is fine. Mind you, we are talking at this point about 8 people. Okay.
Yeah.
They go in. Sun sets. They're all hanging around with candles and stuff. Corey and his girlfriend, I think her name was Irene, kind of veer off into another room. And what they find in there is Corey's grandmother's old diaries from when she lived there back in the 30s. I'm gonna cut this short because this is a very long scene and unnecessary. Monica is smart. Did you not see Ginger? Did you not see the part where she just showed her boobs like 5 minutes ago?
That was pretty smart.
It was pretty smart. Just on a different kind of a thing, anyway. So they go in there. They find Grandma's diary, and what we're going to discover via some very lengthy dialogue is that Corey's grandmother was a witch. The whole town was infested by demons because this weird preacher dude showed up with his congregation and turned them all to devil worship. And the witch was trying to use magic to fight them off, for lack of a better term. Now, there's a way to kill. Apparently, what he was trying to do, the preacher guy, was to summon Satan. And there's a way to do that. You need 7 holy daggers to kill Satan. They find 2 of the holy daggers. Now, you wrote the rules for us, and you told us what we need to kill Satan. I would expect the other 5 daggers to show up at some point. No, we'll do it with 2.
Yeah.
We'll make do with what we got.
2 will do.
2 will work. That's all we need to do. Despite the fact that we just got done telling everybody we need fucking 7. Here's 2. Here's 2, you motherfucker. See, if I wrote this, my wife would slap me in the face, and she would say, "Where's the other 5 fucking daggers? This doesn't make any sense." And I would say, "Oh shit, you're right. You're right. I was going to put something in there. Well, whatever." Now, yeah, I'll draw a picture of a dagger. Anyway, so now here's the really stupid part. Corey decides he's not going to tell anybody in the party about any of this.
Right.
He's going to keep the whole shit under wraps. So he goes back out there and he's
sometimes you just gotta keep it to yourself.
Why? All right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He goes back out and he's like, "Hey guys, everything cool? Yeah, all right." So everybody goes to sleep except for our magician friends, Chuck and Stacy. They're up and they're talking about their next gig, and we're gonna go to Vegas and we're gonna do a fucking illusion show, and we're gonna be the next Siegfried and Roy. Unless you're Yeah.
Nowhere.
Hey, look at this. I can throw a dove up in the air. I can do some mean tricks with a beer can. So it's pretty dumb. But as they're having this conversation, they're like looking out the window, and this is where our first demon shows up, portrayed by the one and only adult film actress Tiffany Million.
Mhm.
As I said before, you can watch her suck a dick on X videos anytime you want. She also does anal, if anybody's interested in that. Fun thing, Lou Diamond Phillips was in this movie, Jim. He's not credited.
Was he?
Yeah, if you watch the credits under the extras, there's a guy called. They tried to get cute with it. No, listen to this. They billed him as
Trying.
Lou Jim Phipps.
Oh.
And the story behind that is that he was actually married to the second assistant director at the time of the making of this movie, and he was really into zombies. He was like, "Oh, whatever I got to do, I just want to be a zombie in this thing." Later on, after the movie was made, his wife left him for lesbian folk singer Melissa Etheridge.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then she was with him for a long time, or she was with her for a very long time. They actually had 2 kids together. And then she left her. She decided she wasn't gay anymore, left Melissa Etheridge, and is now with some other dude completely.
Oh, okay.
So sorry.
Where does that
Yeah.
into the movie?
He is one of the zombie extras during the big zombie siege scene. But he's billed as Lou Jim Phipps.
Like
You're not gonna.
No, I will.
Go ahead. I mean, you're
I
not going to
will.
spot him because he's heavily in makeup. But regardless, this is ridiculous.
That's pretty cool.
Ratings went up. Put her in the bikini, and you will go. Yeah, I mean,
probably. Yeah.
You get.
I need to be tan.
You're pretty.
You're
You're
pretty
tan
tan.
all the fucking
No,
time.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm so white, like I'm really white. What, like you guys?
Dude, she is walking melanoma. Jesse, keep an eye on her. Get her to a doctor because look, she's got. Those are liver spots. Did you see that? The liver spots? It's not a good sign. It's melanoma. All right, anyway. So this hot porn star demon shows up and she's like shaking her boobs at the guys. Oh, come outside. Naturally, they are like, okay, let's go outside. So she.
They were booby trapped.
You're a piece of shit.
Attractive.
Oh. Steve, will you dress up like Hammurabi for the next week's show? His name's Buddy, by the way. But
Okay, just call me whatever.
yeah, I'll see what I can do about a Hammurabi costume. All right. Anyway, back to Demon Win, you fucking maniacs. So they go following the hot chick out there, probably thinking, we're gonna do some kind of a double penetration on her. Assuming these guys were heterosexual, which is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Goes out there. Again, here comes the mist. Whoa, where are we going now? When the mist clears, they're surrounded by these, what I would call demon pilgrims, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
It looks like a bunch of guys in like old-timey costumes with Vaseline on their face. It's really what it amounts to. And they come running out, and there's one chick that's got her boobs out, and she's got the shit on her face, and she's like, "Hey, boys, So these guys are armed. They've got a shotgun and a revolver of some sort, so they're blasting away at these things as they're coming at them. They're going back to back with the guns, which I thought it was kind of cool. Unfortunately, I don't know how, but somehow Stacy gets his throat ripped open.
Yeah.
And this part makes zero sense because they're back to back with the shotguns. Zombies or demons, whatever, are nowhere near them. And then all of a sudden he's like, ah! And the blood's going. So this leaves Chuck all by himself, and he picks up Stacy's shotgun and shoots a bunch more.
Why not?
Hey, why not? And then in a pretty cool move, he starts throwing the karate kicks at the demons, which is cool. Well, hey, Tom's in the house. What's up, Tom?
Hey,
They
Tom.
brought their own Vaseline.
At least nice that they brought their own Vaseline. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That may have been supplied to them, Tom. I
Yeah.
can't speculate on the origins of the Vaseline. But he throws a karate kick at the porn star demon and kicks her head clean off.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Her boobs were still out when he did it. So that part was pretty cool. Unfortunately, as Chuck is making his way back to the cabin, he gets there and he's like beating on the door, but then the demons take him just in time for Dell and his Chuck's ex-girlfriend to open the door and see Chuck get eaten by the demons right there on the front doorstep.
Mhm.
But the good news, though, is that now everybody's awake and they're all like boarding up the windows. Oh shit, demons are everywhere! And they did manage to get the guns off of Chuck before he was further molested by the demons. So that's great. They board up the house. You know, we got like a little siege narrative thing. Hey, Troy's in the house.
Hey,
What's up, Troy?
Hi, Troy.
Paranormal ambassador of the Padded Room podcast.
That's right.
So they get the house boarded up, and they've got like the siege narrative going on for a little bit, and we get more of Corey pulling his girlfriend aside, and she's like, "Hey, we should really tell him about the witch's book and the daggers and all that shit." And he's like, "No, we can't tell anybody. It's a secret." Ooh,
Yeah.
that part makes zero sense.
Right?
I mean, there's a lot about this movie that makes zero sense, but that is like one of the glaring.
Mhm.
Yeah, you might want to say something.
It doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you tell him? All right, who gives a shit? So we
Because
got
you only care about yourself. That's
whatever. Well, he's a prick.
why. Mhm.
I think he's a prick.
Yeah.
All right. So the next morning rolls around, and we go out. Dell and his girlfriend, they do the dumb shit move that we see in a lot of horror movies. I'm not gonna die here, man. I know we're safe and sound in here right now, and nothing can get at us. But I'm not gonna die here.
There's a spirit wall.
Let's go. So Dell and his girlfriend go outside, and everybody else kind of follows them out to the car.
Mhm.
While they're out there, this part is again exceptionally stupid. There's like a laser blast show. Pew 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 pew, and three little girls appear, and they're like, "Hey!" They got like these, truck driver voices. They're like, "Hey, what's going on here?" They're like, "Oh, I don't know, man." And then we get like this backstory about three little girls disappearing, and that's why the evil preacher was committed to being crucified and burned, apparently. So, like, hey, you guys are already here. You guys can't leave anymore. So Bonnie, Jack's girlfriend, goes up to one of the little girls and she's like, "Hey, man, how about you just let us go?" And the little girl grabs her and turns her into a doll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God.
Mhm.
Well, you didn't like Bonnie?
I fucking hate her.
I didn't like anybody in this
Woo!
movie.
Right?
But
Including the movie.
Bonnie was like down on the bottom of my shit list as far as this movie goes. Anyway, she gets turned into a doll. Now, what's really fun about this scene is the nonchalant approach everybody takes to their friend being turned into a doll. To include Jack, who was Bonnie's boyfriend. He goes and he's like, "Oh my God, Bonnie!" He picks her up, looks at her, and he's like, "Hey, you okay?" This is a doll he's talking to.
Mhm.
"Hey, you all right there?" And she's like, "You're never gonna leave." And he's like, "Yeah," and he drops her, and then she explodes.
Yeah.
Exploding doll.
All right.
Well, that just ratcheted that up right up, didn't it? Exploding
Yeah.
doll.
Yeah. Floating dolls are pretty cool.
I judge how I like the female characters of any senseless horror movie by their bust size. Well, okay,
That's a good way to go.
I like that, Tom.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to wind this video here back.
Do you judge it by podcast too?
Because this shirt came up about 10 minutes ago, and we got to see the whole shebang here.
Mhm.
You're welcome, Chop Block TV. Only here in the Padded Room does that happen.
That's right.
Once every 2 hours, give or take.
Yeah, I can bring it up again.
She'll do it. She doesn't give a shit. See? Here, can we move that? I don't know. There it is.
It's
See?
like Hawaiian flowers.
It's her Hawaiian flag.
Hawaiian flowers.
There it is. See? Oh, look at all the likes we're getting all of a sudden.
Oh, it's a boom. It's a light galore.
Boom, 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 boom. 300 likes. Loves even, for Christ's sakes. Look, if you want me to take my shirt off, I will. I'll do it.
He should.
I'll do
You
it.
should do it.
They're not that impressive.
And then I'll pinch him.
And I'm going to need to do some manscaping and some sit-ups. What does Troy say? Would like to pick for Terradome, Zuzu, and the Nightbreed. Forgot to call in. Yeah, we'll put you down there, Troy. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
Yeah, we got you.
I'll review these comments later and put you in. Anyway, so that's really stupid because nobody apparently liked Bonnie enough to give a shit that she just got turned into an exploding doll.
Woo.
So they all go running back inside because they're all terrified, and then we hang out for another night. Now we're going to cut back to Dell and his girlfriend who just decided to go walking off. Here comes the fog again. It's okay. Apparently, there is no discernible timeline in this weird dimensional flip that we're in. It goes from day to night to day to night to day
Right.
to night to day.
Yeah.
this guy is over here. It's the sun is out and he's getting a tan. That guy over there is got his flashlight out. He's trying to find his way through a dark forest that wasn't there 5 minutes ago. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Anyway, it's nighttime for them, and they're in the fog, and inexplicably, Dell's girlfriend just turns around, and now she's got Vaseline on her face.
Yeah.
And he's like, baby, I love you. And she's like, I love you too. And she's got coat hangers for hands, which is really stupid. And then she just does like a, right in the forehead.
Yeah.
Three of them right through the forehead, right through the temple.
And he's like, what'd you do that for? And she's like, I don't know, I'm a demon.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Sorry. And then he falls down dead, and then that's the end of Dell and his girlfriend. Okay, that's stupid. Now things are going to get even dumber, because now we're going to cut immediately to the next morning, where 2 more kids show up to this shit show.
2 more?
Yeah.
Where the fuck are all these? How many people do we need in this movie? Jesus fucking Christ, we got like 16 characters for a cabin in the woods story. All right. Sorry if I'm getting. All right. Every time I felt like the movie was coming to an end, here comes 4 more people.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing? I just want it to be over more than anything. All right. Anyway. So here comes 2 more kids, Tony and his girlfriend, who gives a shit. They all go running outside as soon as they see them pulling up in their Jeep Samurai or Suzuki Samurai, circa 1989. Like, hey, don't shut off the engine! Don't shut off the engine! Naturally, the first thing they do is shut off the engine. They're like, oh no!
What did you say?
Oh, I told you not to shut the engine off. It's like, it's fine. And of course, their car doesn't start either.
Right.
So that's where they get them inside. And they're like, hey, man, there's like a demon thing going on, and we can't get out of here. And now you're stuck too because you shut off the fucking engine.
Yeah, way to go, guys.
You jerks. So, all right. They're inside. They're trying to figure a way out of this. And this is where, see if you can follow me on this, because I don't 100% get it. But if I'm understanding this correctly, what Corey came up with is that because when they walked into the cabin, they were walking through a 2-dimensional door that took them to like another dimension. So they think if they go out of the back door of the cabin and into the barn, they can find another door, which will probably 2-dimensional, which will lead them back to our reality.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. What's that
Right.
say? Even a non-supernaturally affected Suzuki Samurai probably wouldn't restart.
That's true.
You're probably right, Tom. You're probably right. Those things,
You're right on.
it was a little bit before my time, but I remember seeing a lot of those on the side of the road with weeds growing out of them. So that's fun. So they go out to the. They go
Not
through.
the fun time.
No. They go out the back door into the barn, and they're looking for another 2D door that they can step back into our reality. What they find instead is like a weird sigil drawn on the wall, and that's fine. It's got like a cow skull in the middle of it. But Tony's girlfriend is like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Let me just get a closer look." As soon as she steps closer to it, the thing's got like a tape measure for a tongue.
Yeah,
It just shoots out and it grabs her,
right in.
pulls her, and then like starts gumming her to death. That was about as dumb as this movie could possibly get, because you see her basically standing there with her head in the thing, and then the thing is like ga, 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 and blood is like pouring down her neck. It's stupid.
Yeah, it was dumb.
So she's dead, unfortunately. They're all like, oh shit, what are we going to do now? So they go hauling ass back to the main cabin. Now, apparently at some point, Tony, I'm assuming his name was Tony, the newcomer, took a wrong turn or something, because he just doesn't make it back to the cabin. So who we're left with at this point is Jack, Bonnie's boyfriend, Corey, his girlfriend, I think her name was Irene, and Tony, who's kind of MIA. So they get back to the cabin, they start boarding the place up and all that stuff. They're like, where's Tony? Where's Tony? I don't know. Pretty soon there's a knock on the door. They're like, oh my God, it's Tony. They open the door, and it's Tony's girlfriend, and she's hanging upside down from like the door frame. And they're like, hey, what'd you do with Tony? And she's holding his severed head, and she's like, oh, here he is. So they take one of their magical daggers and stick her in the neck with it. And then she falls and then she turns back to regular Tony's girlfriend. Ow! You know what? Ow! I mean, really? You just killed me? Oh! And then she's dead.
Yeah.
All right. So we know how to kill the demon. That's great. Now we get to see Demon Chuck and Stacy, the two magician turds, and they're like, they have Vaseline on their face. I'm loosely referring to them as demons. Really, they're acting more like zombies because they're just kind of like, which is pretty dumb. It is. One of them is apparently like some kind of a trained martial artist, and all of a sudden, all he can come up with is, it's stupid, man. That's pretty dumb.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't doing fucking flip kicks on a beer can. I don't know, man. So that's pretty. That's pretty dumb. So, but they know how to kill these things. They have their magical daggers now, which is great. So they get inside. At some point, Jack gets separated from the rest of the group. He's like in a bedroom. And this is where we see Bonnie make her reappearance, Jack's girlfriend. She shows up. She's perfectly fine. She's like, Jack, what are you doing? Oh, my God. And he's like, oh, my God, I'm so glad you made it. And then he lets her in. Naturally, she's a demon. She scratches him, which infects him with demonness or demon side or whatever. So now he's a demon, and he's on the inside already. So Irene is like trying to find him. She goes running off and gets accosted by who I'm going to assume was the incarnation of the original preacher that started this whole shit back in the 30s.
Right.
Okay. So Corey is kind of persona non grata. He's somewhere in the living room. Irene goes running out, and what she sees is this preacher guy, and he's like, come to me, my faithful children. Come unto me. It was pretty stupid, actually.
The whole thing was pretty stupid.
If you look at this guy, you're going to recognize him immediately as Crazy Ralph from the gas station.
Yep.
How does that make sense?
Mm.
It doesn't really.
go
It
with
just does not. It's fine. So all the demons are like, oh, it's break time. Let's punch out and go to McDonald's. They all start walking towards Crazy Ralph, and as they do, they like more with the laser show, pew pew pew, and they're just disappearing. And Crazy Ralph is getting like more fog around him. The fog eventually the fog dissipates.
It's the demon wind.
Is what it.
That's what it is.
I mean, if you want to call it that,
The fog is the demon wind.
it's something. I don't know. So the fog dissipates, and Crazy Ralph has now turned himself into what I'm going to call a walking herpy, for lack of a better word. I think what we're supposed to be led to believe is that he is now Satan, but really he is just a gelatinous kind of glycerin. I don't know. How would you describe this dude?
He's not the devil.
No.
He's just the right-hand man.
He doesn't even look. He looks like something you would scrape off the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah.
Is what I would say it. Most times say it makes sense in the we didn't have money for other actors. You're exactly right, Tom. You're exactly right, Tom. Except that there's 25 people in this movie, so they had plenty of money for other actors.
Or they were just, hey, I'll do it.
Well, yeah. Or like the director's friend showed up and he's like, you're gonna be Bonnie's boyfriend.
That's right.
Just
Come on in.
stand around. We'll will you tease his hair for Christ's sakes? Look at him.
We need a fluffer.
Yeah, fluff this guy, please. Where'd that porn star go? I know she's around here somewhere. All right, so that's fucking stupid. He's not the devil. He's devil light. That's I think he's more like an out of work kind of, more like a truck driver. I don't know.
With herpes?
He's very sweaty. I'll tell you that right now. He's a very sweaty individual. Anyway, he shows up and he's like, I'm a devil now. So Irene and Corey run back inside. They're trying to keep this dude out. Corey is feverishly reading his grandmother's diary, trying to find a way around this. So they come up with this nutsack incantation where they have to draw a bunch of shit on the floor, and then they say the magic words, and then Corey magically turns into a Klingon.
A Klingon near Uranus.
You're a piece of shit. I don't know, man. I don't know what all of a sudden he's got like an alien nation head and some
Yeah.
pointed ears.
Yeah,
It was bad.
okay. This
Yeah.
part was bad.
Well, what is the point?
This part?
What is the point of that? What is that? Is he like an elf all of a sudden? I don't know what he's.
I felt like he looked like the character from V.
Yeah,
Remember the
yeah,
first TV
yeah,
show?
yeah, totally. So I mean, I thought, okay, well, maybe he turned into some kind of a angelic type of a dude. He's gonna put a beat down on the devil or this devil truck driver, but instead he just gets the shit kicked out of him by the devil truck driver, and now he's got a pointed head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's one point where he like knees him in the nuts, but then the devil comes back and puts a pretty good beat down on Klingon Corey and his girlfriend.
Mhm.
So while Corey's getting the shit kicked out of him, his girlfriend goes back into the diary, reads some other shit, and to make a very long, stupid story short, dispels the evil, and which like dissipates the demon wind or demon fog, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then they drive off the next morning, right back to the diner where they discover that the waitress is also a demon. She's like, "I've got a surprise for you," and they're like, "We have a surprise for you."
Yeah.
And they hold up the book and it blasts a laser at her. And then they walk out and the whole diner explodes. And that's pretty much the end of your movie, inmates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Demon Wind?
I do think.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. It was 1990.
That's not an excuse.
Yeah.
There were good movies in 1990. There's some decent ones. This was not one of them. I think an argument could be made that this movie is so bad that it's good.
I don't know. That
If Alan were here, he would punch me in the face for saying that.
yeah.
Yeah, Alan is on here somewhere. I just, like I was telling you guys, I just felt like the special effect scene just took too long. Like they drug it out too long. Like,
Which special effects?
just like any part.
I
Like,
think they broke
The whole thing.
well, like when
You're
you
looking at
saw,
an hour 43 minutes here, inmates. It's bad.
Well, like when you saw
99% of that is flashback.
one of the kids turn into a demon, and
Mhm.
from the demon doing something, it took too long. Or did you notice, like when they did the flashes?
Yeah.
And then you were left waiting for a minute. You're like, okay, that took too long.
I did not have that reaction
I
to
was
any
like,
part.
oh, this took too long.
At no point did I gasp during any of this movie. I'm going to tell you right now. I did a lot of this.
I agree
Right.
with anyone that
I
shows
agree.
their rack.
Oh, so you're just going to take her
Oh,
side,
well,
Tom?
yeah.
All right. Well, then let me just get this
It
out.
really wasn't that. It was 1990. They were just getting into doing stuff like that.
I feel like this is so bad. It's not necessarily good.
It's okay.
It's terrible. It's a bad movie, but I feel like it was taken very seriously by all the people involved. And that, in a way, I think makes it good in its own sense. So I think this is a movie that you can put on and the Late Late Horror Show. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
I feel like this is a movie that you can put on for the express purposes of making fun of
Yeah.
and to drink heavily.
Heavily.
I mean, maybe don't
Yeah.
drop acid and do this. It's
No,
a bad
just
idea.
have a couple cocktails while you watch this, and you'll feel like you're back in the 90s.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would agree.
That's how I felt. I was like back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, if you're looking for like a serious horror experience,
Not this one.
no.
No.
If you're looking for something frightening,
Not this one.
Not this
unless
one.
you're terrified of midday sun or barren Irish meadows, I think you could probably skip this one too, man. It's bad. It sucked. Just say it did suck. But I feel like there is a redeeming quality here that it
I
sucked
agree.
What,
as
the porn
bad.
star?
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean, that's probably the best part of the movie, right? She comes out with her boobs out. Hey,
It
Marie,
was okay.
Hey, Marie.
it's bad.
I give it a 5.
I give it a 3. I'm gonna go with Buddy on this and say
Wow,
3.
you guys are real haters. The movie that they made me watch a few weeks ago, The Soul of Your Vagina, was even worse than this, guys.
Okay, there's not a movie called The Soul of Your Vagina. And I'm sure there is, but you got to go to a certain website to find it. She's talking about The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, which is bad. But
That's terrible.
Okay, that's bad in a pretentious artsy fartsy kind of a bad, where it's only an advanced artistic mind would understand this. This is bad on a we don't know what the fuck we're doing and we're trying to make a movie kind of a level, which I feel makes it good in a certain honest sense of putting the effort in.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's all you have to say about
All right.
that.
All right.
Demon Wind, skip it unless
Yeah.
you're drunk and you're looking to make fun of somebody.
And if you've seen it, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to hear from somebody with their shirt on to defend this movie. Or if you want to take your shirt off, that's fine too. But I will need proof that you actually took your shirt off.
Oh, boy.
All right, guys, we are going to take a little break and we'll come back with some other stuff, huh?
Thanks for joining.
Hey, Mike.
What's up in Virginia? Oh, where in Virginia are you at?
All right, we can hang out for another minute or two with the chop blockers. Buddy can't. Apparently, he has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, all right. Buddy and Monica are going to the bathroom together. I think I'm just going to give them a few minutes.
Oh, let me move this for you.
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
Right?
We have to rearrange the whole
We got
shit
like
here.
5 minutes.
Go, get it done.
Go, buddy, go. So I can go. I might just go in the backyard.
Do it. She's not actually going to pee outside. Oh, what's going on, Mike? Fredericksburg, huh? Very cool. Licky says Lou Diamond Phillips, La Bamba Young Guns was uncredited roles. He's actually is credited, Tom. He's billed as Lou Jim Phipps, and he is completely unrecognizable in this movie because he's heavily made up in zombie makeup. Whole long story behind that. You wanna come on the show here, Deacon? My son Deacon. Want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Say hi, Dee Dee. Oh, Daphne too? Oh, Daphne doesn't have any clothes on. All right, out you go. Out you go. All right, guys. Well, I guess everybody else has to go to the bathroom, so I think I'm going to go ahead and kill this feed. Thank you very much for joining us, as usual. The podcast will be up later tonight. PaddedRoomPodcast.com, that's where you find us. This is actually just a small portion of the regular show. This is all going to be included in the podcast. We actually have other segments, listener mail, something called the Terradome. What are you looking at? Things like that. You can find the whole audio version of this at PaddedRoomPodcast.com. What's up, little D? Great tattoo. Jesse. All right, Mike, we'll see you next week. Oh, crap. Do we know what we're doing next week?
What are we doing next?
We don't know what we're doing next week, but it is, I think we have another week in May, right? Yeah. It's going to be something from the Joe Bob Briggs Shutter Show. Should we figure it out real quick?
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Does anybody? I can name like most of them.
Okay.
Okay, Chud is one of
Chud?
them. Get off. Chud, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Thanks, Tom. Thank you for joining us. Jesus Christ. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. What else?
God told me to.
I think that's on there. Hugh the Winged Serpent. The stuff just got put on. Oh, Street Trash.
Really?
Yeah, you want to do Street
Let's
Trash?
do that
Join
one.
us next week for Street
Yay!
Trash.
We are gonna look like street trash for you guys.
They will look like Street Trash. I'll still be in my suit and tie. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.